Tianbao Fu Yao Lu. Chapter 143. Rebel forces approaching the city. A ruckus gradually began, and Lu Su turned over uncomfortably. In that darkness, Mo Rajin opened his eyes, and his pupils glowed faintly green. He picked up the hand that Lu Su had placed on his chest, before pulling out his own arm from under Lu Su's neck. Completely naked, he turned over and climbed out of bed, picking up his clothes and striding out. The cold wind blew over his skin, and with several quick motions, he wrapped his outer robe around himself, put on his hunting boots, and slung his quiver and longbow over his back. In the courtyard of the Luoyang exorcism department, the sky was gloomy and overcast, as if they were living through a long night. "Isn't it supposed to be bright out already?" Mo Rajin asked. Atai had also woken up just now, and he went outside. Wenbin was holding a watering can, watering the flowers, and he remarked, "That's strange. It's not raining either, it shouldn't look like this." The sky was filled with thick, black clouds, and the world sank into darkness. "They have come," Atai said. Both of them looked up at the same time. Devil Chi billowed in the sky. Mo Rajin vaulted onto his horse, and he and Atai arrived outside the north city gates, only to see that the outside of the city was filled with the dense black mass of An Lushan's heavy cavalry. A messenger came charging over and drew a longbow, calling loudly, "Prefect of Luoyang, receive this edict." And then the arrow drew out an arc as it flew up over the city gates, whooshing by their ears as it embedded itself firmly on a wooden pillar. Mo Rajin was incensed by that, and he pulled over a great bow almost 100 stones heavy that stood on the city walls. He drew the bow and knocked an arrow, sending it shooting forward. It crossed that distance of over 100 paces in a twinkling, and just as that messenger was about to turn his horse around and make a furious dash back, Mo Rajin's meteoric arrow was even faster. It pierced right through his back, shooting him off his horse. "Mortal," Atai said. Thankfully, Mo Rajin hadn't used the 7-nailed arrows. He turned around and roared, "Where is Bi Sichin?" "Where did he go?" "He's at the southern gates," someone shouted. Atai replied, "I'll go take a look at the southern gates." Mo Rajin gestured for Atai to remain here, while he himself leapt off the ramparts. He somersaulted through the air and transformed into the grey wolf, sprinting along the city wall as he headed towards the southern gate. The crowd of guards cried out as they saw Mo Rajin leap down, but his silhouette simply flashed before their eyes before he disappeared. That general's divine arrow was truly shocking. "Stop thinking about it," Atai said. "The exorcism department won't help you fight. Hurry up, get the oil boiling, prepare the hot water, the enemies are about to attack the city, go go go. Get moving, get moving." With the godly hurricane fan in hand, Atai stood at the top of the wall. Last night, Mo Rajin had successfully convinced him that they had to fight, because they had no other choice, and to Atai, this was also some very hard to come by experience. After all, someday, he had to go back to Persia to revive his country, and battlefields were the true stage of mortals. He had to watch carefully, study hard, and put himself through the grind. At the same time, a bunch of people's heads bobbed outside the southern city gates. They were all citizens who lived along the canal, and they were shouting, "Let us into the city." Up on the southern tower, Bi Sichin shouted back, "These are unusual times. The city gates must not be opened." There were over 1,000 people at the foot of the city, and over 100 had fallen into the canal and come back, soaking wet, to check on their wives and children. As for the 700 or 800 left, they were all young, strong youths who lived in the region surrounding Luoyang, and they had brought along pitchforks and metal weapons as they hurried here to help defend the city of Luoyang. If Luoyang fell, then as soon as An Lushan's heavy cavalry made it through Luoyang, the city would be filled with Hu people, and the surrounding cities and towns would face certain death. But now that they had arrived at the city gates, Bi Sichin was actually refusing to open the gates. The crowd seemed to be on the verge of insurrection, and Bi Sichen shouted angrily, "Unruly mob! You unruly mob! Do not open the gates! Prevent any spies from entering the city!" They immediately began to curse loudly at the foot of the city. The soldiers went forward and knocked arrows to their bows. Arrows could not distinguish between friend and foe, so everyone started to back away, only to see that there were two people left on the empty ground, their forms soaking wet, icicles hanging off them. A voice called up from the foot of the city. "Which lord stands on the city tower?" "Li Jinglong." Bi Sichen murmured. He wasn't familiar with the exorcism department, and he didn't know Morigin, but Bi Sichen definitely knew of Li Jinglong's reputation. Who in Chang'an wouldn't have known this dandy of the past? Bi Sichen had once held a position as a messenger in the Xinwu army, and he had long since heard of the name of Li Jinglong of the Longwu army. Immediately, he shouted, "Who?" "The Marquis of Yadan." "Jinglong Xiang, is that you? Hurry up and open the gates." Li Jinglong bellowed. It was right then that Morigin leapt up onto the walls, drew his bow and knocked an arrow, shouting, "Who goes there?" As soon as the two of them outside heard that, Hung Jun immediately cried, "Morigin! Take an arrow of mine," Morigin called laughingly. The arrow shaft then left the bow, shooting towards the ground 3 chi in front of Li Jinglong. In the blink of an eye, a throwing knife shot towards it, splitting the arrow into two, before turning in a circle and heading back. The gates to Luoyang creaked open, and the citizens swarmed inside. The first thing Hung Jun and Li Jinglong did after getting inside was to dash towards Morigin. Li Jinglong rushed forward, and he and Morigin wrapped their arms around each other in a tight embrace. After they parted, Hung Jun pounced on him next, and with a big flip, he vaulted over Morigin's back, riding up on his shoulders. The three of them laughed loudly, and Morigin exclaimed, "Why are you so wet? Did you fall into the water?" As it turned out, Li Jinglong, Hung Jun, and Ashinakayan had all suddenly been attacked in the canal, and they climbed ashore dripping wet. After the Huashi had destroyed the large ship, instead of doggedly pursuing them, it had spread its wings and flown far away. With that, Li Jinglong rescued the merchants from within the river, many of whom had already been swept downstream. Ashinakayan was on the bank of the canal, searching for the last lucky survivors, and he had Li Jinglong and Hung Jun hurry quickly northward to enter the city. The three of them had been kept busy for a whole day and night, and Li Jinglong led the survivors to Luoyang first. Along the way, they ran into the militia, and they had decided to keep each other company as they headed to the city. Hung Jun had the phoenix feather protecting him, so despite his entire body being soaking wet, he didn't feel cold. They moved in fits and starts, but just as he was worrying over the situation in the city, he had suddenly seen Morigin. This long-awaited reunion was truly making his heart blossom with joy, and he was so happy he was close to tears. Hung Jun had stayed in the tower for no more than 10 days, and this reunion after their parting was a cordial one for him, but a year and a half had passed for Morigin outside the tower, so he was much more intensely emotional about this than Hung Jun and Li Jinglong were. "I thought you two were still in the tower. As long as you're out now, that's good, Morigin said. He piggybacked Hung Jun as usual as he strode towards the center of the city. "You've changed so much," Hung Jun said. After being apart for a while, Hung Jun thought that Morigin had gotten thinner and a bit more haggard. He was no longer clean-shaven, and his face bore evident traces of hardship. Morigin replied, "I've spent this year being exposed to the elements, and I've also had to cajole someone, so it truly hasn't been easy for me." "Were you injured?" Li Jinglong could tell from a single glance. "Before the new year, I broke my arm once," Morigin said. "It's no issue now." The three of them mingled in the crowd as they headed towards the main street. Morigin then said to Hung Jun, "Lu Su has been talking about you all the time, he's been wanting nothing more than for you to come back." Bi Sichen had his subordinates organize the militia and send them off to be enlisted, and now he came hurrying towards them from far in the distance to talk to Li Jinglong. He shouted, "Jinglong Xiang! Please wait." With that, Li Jinglong shook his hand, and the two of them even slapped each other on the back a little. Mo Rijin hadn't thought that Bi Sichen was so familiar with Li Jinglong, and he grew a little awkward. Upon seeing that Mo Rijin was acting completely different from how he had acted before, laughing and chatting with Hung Jun as he was, Bi Sichen also suspected that he had recognized the wrong person. An awkward silence fell over all of them for a bit. Hung Jun climbed off Mo Rijin's back, and Li Jinglong introduced him to Bi Sichen. "This is your Saizai." Bi Sichen hurriedly said to Mo Rijin, "Greetings to Saizai." "Mo Rijin. It's him." Li Jinglong pulled Hung Jun over, and Bi Sichen hurried to apologize, before cupping his hands and greeting Hung Jun politely. The corners of Mo Rijin's mouth twitched, and he said to Li Jinglong, "I'll take Hung Jun back first. Come by the exorcism department later." Li Jinglong nodded, and Mo Rijin led Hung Jun into the twisting alleyways. A moment later, Hung Jun rode on the grey wolf's back as it jumped up to the rooftops in a single leap, and with several hops, it ran off. Jinglong Xiang. Bi Sichen might not have been good at fighting battles, but he was passable at studying someone's expression. Since Li Jinglong and that youth had come to Luoyang at such a crucial moment, what other purpose could they have come for except to help defend this place? Li Jinglong had been born into a military family. Back then, before rumors had spread through the Longwu army about him doing a fellow soldier, the troops that he had led were basically able to receive a commendation every year. During the autumn hunt on Mount Li, the crown prince had looked on them quite favorably, and plus, his cousin, Feng Changqing, had had military achievement after military achievement. Right now in the city, there are. "I don't care. Sichen, you must lead your own troops." "Was it His Majesty who told you?" "It was not." "Then the rebel army?" "I don't know." "Is Lord Feng Changqing already on his way?" "I'm not sure." Li Jinglong swiftly and concisely rejected Bi Sichen. He stood there and studied him, and Bi Sichen said anxiously, "This isn't fair. How are we supposed to defend Luoyang? Yang Kuozhong sent me here evidently so that I would have to face certain death." Li Jinglong grew enraged. "This country is in imminent danger." "Bi Sichen. What are you saying?" Bi Sichen said, "Jinglong Xiang, you be the main commander, and I'll be your lieutenant, okay?" "Not okay," Li Jinglong replied. "I didn't come here to help you fight a war. Are you misunderstanding something?" Bi Sichen. After a long silence, Bi Sichen had no choice but to nod. "Okay then." But just as Bi Sichen gave up, Li Jinglong continued, "But in this coming period of time, I'll be living right in the Luoyang exorcism department. If you need anything, you can come find me at any time to discuss." Finally, Bi Sichen asked, "Can Luoyang be held?" This was really not something that needed to be asked. If Luoyang could not be held, why would Li Jinglong have come in front of him? He wanted nothing more than to hear Li Jinglong say it, to promise that Feng Changqing and his reinforcements would make it in time, and Luoyang would be in no danger. "Li Jinglong, it will fall." Bi Sichen. Bi Sichen had never thought that he would hear such a response. Li Jinglong asked earnestly, "If it will fall, will you still guard it?" Bi Sichen could not stop trembling, before he finally nodded helplessly. Li Jinglong said, "Don't worry, the exorcism department will keep you company." "Then you all." "A secret mission," Li Jinglong replied. "Each of us has their own difficulties to deal with, so let us forgive each other for not being able to help." And as he finished saying this, another commotion broke out on the main street. A messenger dashed over, shouting, "They're attacking the city. The rebels are attacking the city." "Let's go," Li Jinglong said to Bi Sichen. "It's time to get to work." I should get back and do my duty as well. And with that, Li Jinglong squeezed out of the crowd and headed towards the exorcism department. Atai stood tall above, on the city walls. En Lushan's rebels had conquered the entirety of Hebei with virtually no resistance, because all of the large cities along the way had surrendered without a fight, all of them seeming to lose their courage as soon as they heard rumors of this vast army. The rebels came to a stop in front of the city of Luoyang and began to properly attack the city. The rebels numbered over 100,000, and Yao clouds and devil fog billowed forth from behind the main army. Black clouds rolled in. The foot soldiers were all Tang troops, the cavalry in the middle were Hu tribes like the Shiwei, the Khitan, and so on, and the rear ranks were composed of craftsmen and laborers. This was the first time that Atai was seeing a city being attacked at such a large scale, and he couldn't help the shock he felt. When Persia, the Abbasid Caliphate, Tokharistan, and the like met in battle, it was often 20,000 fresh troops and 12,000 cavalry ripping each other apart. Even with that, the bodies would pile up into mountains. The Great Tang was flourishing mightily right now, and there were easily over 100,000 people there. That sight was truly very majestic. Hurry up and prepare to defend the city. Atai said. Where is your commander? We'll listen to you, the leader of the city guards immediately said. Hurry up and give your orders. Atai. Atai was completely taken aback. What does this mean? Do they want me to be their commanding officer? The squad leaders were all watching Atai, and Atai said, then, bring the boiling oil over? Stop shooting. Wait until they get a bit closer. War drums had already begun to beat outside. The Tang troops stationed in the Central Plains regions had never participated in a war before. Ever since the Li Tang's territories had been claimed, the entirety of Luoyang hadn't seen battle for over 100 years, and to them, besieging and guarding a city were all nothing more than armchair strategizing. How many of them actually understood how to do that? End chapter. Tianbao Fu Yao Lu. Chapter 144. Reuniting and Reminiscing. In the exorcism department, when Hung Jun saw Lu Su was in the middle of brushing his teeth. Immediately upon seeing Hung Jun, he dashed forward, bowling him over onto the ground, spraying him with a faceful of bubbles. It had been only a little over 10 days since Hung Jun had seen him last, but for Lu Su, a whole year and a half had passed, and he almost burst into tears. Both of them tried to talk over each other for a long while, and they couldn't even make out what the other was saying. Finally, Hung Jun laughed loudly and held Lu Su down, both of them rolling around in the room. You really came back at the perfect time, Lu Su said. Zenji, where are Yangxiga and Kayanga? After Hung Jun explained that the rest of them would arrive shortly, he said, in the dragon subduing tower, we. Shut up, Lu Su interrupted. Listen to me first. Okay, okay. Hung Jun moved a little stool over to rest his elbows on, avidly listening to what had happened to Lu Su in this year and a half. Lu Su spoke for a long while, like he was narrating everything that had happened in a stream of consciousness fashion, but Hung Jun ate all that up with gusto. You actually found Zhao Zilong. When he heard of the Carpiao, Hung Jun almost leapt right up. After Lu Su explained the situation, Hung Jun grew a little dejected. That's right, Hung Jun said, after thinking for a bit. Is it heading down south with En Lushan's army? Lu Su shrugged helplessly. In the past year, they hadn't returned to Yuzhu. When Hung Jun heard about that day, when Morajin had taken Lu Su with him and charged out of Yuzhu, he had broken his arm, he went outside to check on Morajin. At this time, Morajin was currently sitting under the eaves of the hallway, looking up at the black chi in the sky. It's fine now, Morajin chuckled at Hung Jun, before reaching out and ruffling his hair. Lu Su said, you aren't going to call Atai back. I'll go right away, Morajin said. Tu Rainduct went to go buy wine and food. You two watch the house, and we'll have a feast tonight. Finally, everyone's reunited. And what happened after that? Hung Jun asked curiously. After Lu Su and Mo Rijin escaped from Yuzhu, they hadn't been able to shake the Yaoguai on their tail. En Lushan had sent out seasoned scouts to search for their whereabouts, and Lu Su had no choice but to treat Mo Rijin's wounds as they fled. They ran away in fits and starts. When they escaped to the Taihang Mountains, the Yao tribes under En Lushan's command fell prey to ambushes from the birds. That was Chongming. Hung Jun said. Lu Su had never seen Chongming, and he asked, a tall guy, with long pants and a bare upper body, whose skin is a little bit darker than the big wolf's, that's your dad? Qingxiang, Hung Jun said. What did he say? He told the two of us to stay in the Taihang Mountains to recover from our injuries first, Lu Su said, and for us not to return to Chang'an, and instead send a letter. But the big wolf refused to listen, and after resting for less than a month at the foot of the mountain, we left. After that, Mo Rijin and Lu Su returned to Chang'an. Mo Rijin first found the crown prince and gave his report about the military situation in the northwest. It was close to the 4th month at that point, and Li Hong swiftly brought Mo Rijin to see Li Longji. Yang Qiuzhong had recovered his original position by then, and he stood by Li Longji's side. Hung Jun. Lu Su said, Li Guinian didn't know what to do with him. He didn't have a speck of Yao energy in him, and plus, he forgot everything that had happened before. Mo Rijin had tested him several times, and even had snuck under the cover of night into Yang Qiuzhong's estate. He originally wanted to attack right away and get rid of him, but thanks to Lu Su's persuasion, he had gotten rid of that notion. After all, this was a matter that was far too important, and it would easily snowball. If they killed Yang Qiuzhong without a clear reason, the fault for that would ultimately fall on their heads. The big wolf said that Xiaoyu wouldn't die so willingly, Lu Su said. He might still be hiding out somewhere in Chang'an. It was then that Atai and Seizai returned, and we spent a whole 7 months searching through the city of Chang'an. Atai had come back as well, and with the 4 of them returned to the exorcism department, they began to investigate Xiaoyu's whereabouts as they waited for the imperial court to come up with a way to defeat En Lushan. Yet this time, Xiaoyu had hidden itself very well, and they never found any clues. It was as if it had vanished into thin air. Mo Rijin wanted to kill Xiaoyu, and he suggested that they figure out a way to lure it out, or even use Yang Qiuzhong as a way to test it. Lu Su was also using the realm of dreams to go again and again into Yang Qiuzhong's inner mind, but from beginning to end, he saw nothing more than a normal person. The devil Qi had been completely wiped clean, and in the end, Mo Rijin grew reckless in his desperation and ended up using a poison that Atai provided, sending Yang Qiuzhong into a state of fake death. Xiaoyu, however, was very patient, and it never ended up showing itself. At the same time, Atai and Turandict had gone to search for the rest of Akalanatha's artifacts. Hung Jun exclaimed, do they already know where they are? The earth veins, Lu Su said. In the ancient waterways under Poyang Lake, they found the secret chamber that Deranger retrieved the Sword of Wisdom from back in the day. That was a place where the earth veins flowed. Hung Jun. Hung Jun immediately remembered that the Yao binding rope also seemed to have been stashed away on an altar close to the earth veins. That's very likely, Hung Jun said. But they did not end up finding anything, Lu Su said. Atai marked out a bunch of places across the Divine Land, and since he figured he'd be idle either way, as long as you two hadn't come out of the tower, the 2 of them went around searching. He took Seizai with him, and treated that as a vacation. So with that, Atai and Turandict once again left Chang'an, leaving Mo Rijin and Lu Su behind to guard it. During that time, they were waiting for the court to come to a decision, and were observing Yang Qiuzhong at the same time. Finally, in the 8th month, Li Longji decided to first summon En Lushan in front of the court, but of course, En Lushan could not have come. After the sacred flame was taken away, his body could not hold out against the devil Qi, Lu Su said. It began to rot. And Lushan had sent an envoy with a silver tongue to insinuate that there were traitors working behind his back to frame him. Morajin had never imagined that Lushan would actually do that. Not long after, the secret envoy that Li Longji had sent out returned to the court as well, but Morajin didn't even know when the envoy had been dispatched to Yuzhu in the first place. The envoy's response was, an investigation has turned up nothing of the sort. And with that, the crime of framing important officials on the borders fell onto Morajin's head. If Li Jinglong was there, he would have naturally been able to deal with it, but Morajin had felt very antagonistic towards Li Longji in the first place, and he immediately had a falling out with the emperor of the Great Tang. Hung Jun. What were you two playing at there? Hung Jun could not believe his own ears. Lu Su shrugged. What choice did I have? Li Longji's faith in gods and the supernatural was not strong to begin with. Morajin did not understand at all how to interact with the imperial court, and Li Jinglong still hadn't shown up. And with the emperor afflicted with his old illness of suspicion, and the second in command of the exorcism department not understanding the art of subtlety, the tragedy of Li Jinglong being arrested was about to play out again. If the emperor had his guards arrest Morajin, this guy would have probably laid them all out flat with a few arrows of his, before taking Lu Su with him and fleeing. But this time, Yang Kuozhong actually stood on Morajin's side. It was only with that Li Longji agreed to give them a way out and investigate this matter no further. Was the argument that serious? Hung Jun asked. They were drawing their blades right there in the study, what do you think? Lu Su asked in reply. Speaking of which, that was weird, why did Xiaoyu not take any action at all? Hung Jun asked, and then what happened? Lu Su continued, then after that, it got boring again. It's not just me saying it, but we really can't hold up when Li Jinglong isn't there. In the beginning, Li Jinglong hadn't expected either that everything would devolve into such a complex situation after he entered the tower. Morajin was unfamiliar with power struggles, and after being swept into such a political vortex and finding himself unable to escape, tasted what Li Jinglong had felt when being subject to glares from all sides. But the officials of the court were not standing idly by either. First, it was Feng Changqing who pushed back against the oversteps that Lushan had made, then Ge Han, during his return to the court to make his report, suggested a plan. Finally, they worked together to submit a petition, and Li Longji could finally sit still no longer, promising to strip Lushan of his position as a Jidushi. Autumn ended and winter came. Morajin really couldn't stand the lack of efficiency these mortals had in conducting their affairs, and with no hope in sight of when Li Jinglong would exit the tower, Morajin decided to go with the envoy back to Yuzhu. Lu Su, however, managed to talk him out of it. You were right in doing so, Hung Jun said. Lu Su replied, I was on the verge of running away from home before he finally gave up on that idea. He probably thought that I was too annoying. Even if Morajin faced Lushan head-on, what could he do? With only them two and a Tai and two Rainduct, they had no way to get rid of this Mara. The power of Lu Su's realm of dreams could potentially bind it, but the only person in the exorcism department that could completely fight back against Lushan was Li Jinglong, who had both the power of Akalanatha and the heart lamp. He didn't actually want to get rid of Mara, Lu Su said. The big wolf wanted to make preparations early, including the entire defensive line from Yuzhu on south, down to Luoyang, then to Guangzhou. He doesn't want to see war break out, because war brings back memories that are too powerful for him. Lu Su knew what Morajin was so hung up on. Hung Jun searched his thoughts, before saying, but on the way here, Jinglong also looked over the military reports. There weren't any sort of preparations at all. It's very simple, there's no more money, Lu Su said. The Yang family ate up all the military budget and provisions. Hung Jun. After Yang Kuozhong returned to court, he acted very differently from how he usually did. No longer did he involve himself heavily in political matters, instead, he began to wantonly amass his wealth. In these past few years, the Yang family had been spending heavily to begin with, and with Yang Qiuzhong's actions, this was basically adding a layer of frost onto snow. And it was also because of that he truly seemed too much like a mortal. No matter how Lu Su and Mo Rijin observed him, he had never slipped up once. And after that, Lu Su said, news came from the north about the rebels. After we sent a letter to Atai, we rushed to Luoyang. After Hung Jun heard about all of these things that had happened, he felt as if all of that had happened in a completely separated world. Thankfully Li Jinglong came out of the tower, Hung Jun said. As if a great burden had been shed from his shoulders, Lu Su said, finally there's someone to worry about these matters now. Both of them had an expression of this has nothing to do with me, and we're finally able to set down this heavy burden of ours. Our IQ isn't high enough, and it's really not easy making a living in this world. But either way, congratulations, Hung Jun said. Lu Su asked, confused, what are you congratulating me for? You're finally together now, Hung Jun said, smiling. Lu Su was temporarily speechless, and he stared at Hung Jun, before saying, if I were to say that we still aren't together, would you believe me? Hung Jun was shocked. Didn't you two already do that? Lu Su said, that is that, but we aren't together. In reality, Lu Su didn't know what exactly his relationship with Mo Rijin was. Ever since Mo Rijin's tenure as a spy at An Lushan's side had ended, both of them had held each other at arm's length. No matter if Mo Rijin had something else to do or not, he always wanted to hold Lu Su down and go at it, but they had never said anything about love or the like. When the two of them journeyed, they seemed to only take care of their own things. When they stayed in way stations, they always had two beds in one room. As they headed north away from Hangzhou, there was one day where Mo Rijin could hold himself back no longer, and he rose and went to Lu Su's bed. It just so happened that Lu Su was also having that kind of feeling, and it only took a little bit of prodding for him to accept that. And after that, for several days, whenever Mo Rijin wanted to top him, he would do so. After they finished, both of them would continue traveling on as if nothing had happened. Hung Jun. Hung Jun's expression was one of you can even do it like that. If he doesn't say anything, then I won't say anything either, Lu Su stated expressionlessly. We just went at it again last night. Do you two kiss? Hung Jun asked. We do kiss, Lu Su replied. Hung Jun, but you haven't talked to each other about being together. Lu Su, we don't. Hung Jun exclaimed, how can you two be like this? Lu Su replied, both of us are guys, so what's the need for that? There's no need for such fuss, it's such a drag. It's not like our bellies can get big. When Hung Jun thought about it, that was true. It wasn't like men could wed other men, but they also hadn't vowed to be with each other for the rest of their lives. At the same time, he really couldn't accept that. If Li Jinglong acted the same as Mo Rijin, Hung Jun would probably hate him. I actually like it pretty well like this, Lu Su said. Lu Su and Mo Rijin were like two natural-born wild beasts. They foraged for food, wandered around, and when they needed to mate, they would go at it. After they finished, neither of them would talk about it again. Hung Jun recalled the competitiveness that Mo Rijin had displayed in the beginning. He hadn't thought that it was something that would last for that long, and the situation would remain in a stalemate for over a year. That seems pretty exciting, Hung Jun said, slowly beginning to understand how Lu Su felt. But do you not love him? Lu Su stopped talking. Both of them fell silent for a moment, before Lu Su suddenly said, it's really quite exciting. He knows a lot of tricks. Hung Jun studied Lu Su inquisitively, asking, what tricks? Lu Su scooted close to Hung Jun and began to mutter quietly in his ear. Hung Jun's face and ears turned red as he listened, and then the two of them began to make gestures to explain. Hung Jun said, actually, I want to tie Zhenqi up. If I were to do it of my own accord, he'd probably like it very much. Lu Su said, next time, I want to tie him up and then top him. You have to blindfold him. Hung Jun. When Hung Jun imagined Li Jinglong being tied up with ropes, his eyes blindfolded, he was greatly aroused, and he kept swallowing. He then thought about how he would look, lost in the throes of passion. He hadn't done that to Li Jinglong before, and though every time they did it, Li Jinglong was very affectionate, both his hands and his mouth working well, Hung Jun always felt a little bit of an itch to give it a try. It's not very good that we're discussing this, is it? Hung Jun said. If you tell Li Jinglong to listen to you, he'll definitely do that, Lu Su said. He'll be willing to do anything. It's hard to say for the big wolf, so he has to be tied up. Hung Jun, he'll get mad, won't he? Why will he get angry? Lu Su asked. I'm not even angry. That wouldn't be fair, right? Hung Jun thought, that's true. Lu Su continued, I'll teach you, there's other ways to play. Mo Rijin had toyed around with Lu Su in all sorts of ways, and Lu Su was now very well versed in those ways. Hung Jun also taught him a little bit of what he had learned as well. After the two of them talked for a long while, Lu Su said at the end, no more of this. I can't take it anymore. You'd better not try it on me, Hung Jun hurriedly said, seeing that Lu Su's gaze didn't look quite right. Suddenly, there was a huge boom. Both of them were very frightened. A ball of fire had landed in the courtyard, and flames were shooting in every direction. Hung Jun cried out, what is this? Evidently, Hung Jun hadn't yet woken from his stupor before, but Lu Su immediately realized, the army is attacking the city. The two of them hurried out, only to see that the can was filled with kerosene. It had hit the roof of the exorcism department, which had immediately begun to burn. Hung Jun hurriedly picked up a water bucket, but Lu Su shouted, don't try to save it. Lu Su immediately started pulling Hung Jun outside, but Hung Jun shouted, is there anyone else inside? It was only then that Lu Su remembered Wen Ben and Xiang Yu were still inside the exorcism department. The two of them dashed out of their room, and Xiang Yu shrieked, before shouting, the flowers. Wen Ben, his robes on fire, was carrying the flowers outside. Without another word, Hung Jun expanded the pentacolor sacred light, and as the fireballs rained down from the sky, each and every one of them canisters of oil set alight, they were ejected in twos and threes. End chapter.